Hey guys, it's Andrea here from Crafter Support. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to share with you how to make these cute Valentine shirts using Jolee's Boutique Easy Image transfer sheets. Now, there are two different types of transfer sheets for Jolee's. There's a light fabric one and a dark fabric one, and I'm going to walk you through all that today. It's really simple and easy to use. I'm just going to share with you my thoughts on how best to work with them. I've used these for many years and I've had great success with them. So the first thing we're going to do is jump onto Cricut Design Space, and I'm just going to pull up two images. I do a lot of things just for the videos, just for the teaching aspect of it. So I just pick images that I think are cute and common that I could put out there for any shirts that I make for little kids. I don't have little kids, so I will donate those shirts once I've made them and shared them with you guys on how to do something. So that's why I pick like just random designs. So when you if you're new to Cricut, when you click on a design in Design Space, if you're an Access member, you'll see that little green A, and when you click on an image, it'll turn green around the box and you can use that image. And so I just picked the two images I liked and they appear down here. They're little circles, and then you can click Send to Canvas. So once you send them to Canvas, they'll pop up. I'm only going to be making changes to the red truck. I want to put a background against it. So how I'm going to do that is use offset. When you click offset, a little screen will pop up here and will be offset just basically cuts outside of the design. So it's good to use if you're making stickers or anything you want to have a border like around it. So you just click offset and then you can decide how far away or close to the design you'd like it. Once you're happy with where it's at, you can just go down and click apply. So by applying it, it just means that your background's there. No, it'll come out gray or dark. All you need to do is click on it, click on your box of colors, and then pick the background that you want. I'm just using white, and highlight it and flatten. So when you flatten it, it just means you can print that out. If you see here on the side, there were a bunch of layers. So here's a bunch of the layers before I flatten it. And now I'm going to go through and flatten it again. And then you'll see it's just one layer now. And now it's a print and cut. So we're going to do the same thing to the Be Mine because I don't need to make any changes to that. So I'm just going to highlight that. And I'm going to click flatten. And again, you'll see all those pieces turn into one. So now we're going to go ahead and just take a quick look at the Jolee's Boutique Easy Image Transfer Sheets. Like I said, there's two different kinds. There's a dark fabric one and a light fabric one. I'm just going to tell you guys from past experience, if you're using the light fabric ones, only use that on white. Don't try to use it on a light pink or a light blue or a light yellow. The colors are going to be off. Make sure you're only using the light fabric ones for white. Now, the dark fabrics can be used on absolutely anything. I have used dark fabric on white projects and on any other color project as well. I kind of prefer the dark ones on all of my designs. So here, when you open them up, they are different. You apply the dark fabric one differently than you apply the light fabric one. They come with instructions. For this, you can use a home iron. However, I'll be using an easy press. They are marked on the back, telling you which one is which, basically. So you can buy variety packs of these, and they'll have strips on the back of them that show you that it's the back of the transfer sheet. And this one has blue lines. They're faint, but you can definitely see them. I think my lights were a little too bright. It was a little bit hard to see here. But the dark fabric sheet has a light blue line, two light blue lines on the back. And the light fabric transfer sheets have a red line on the back of them. So you can definitely tell the difference. If you're using a printer that has a bottom feed, so like you pull out a tray, you're going to be putting it in upside down. So you're going to want to see the lines when you put it in your printer. If you're using a back feed tray, then you're just going to stick it straight down in so you don't see the lines. So they will be towards the back of the printer. I hope that makes sense. So I'm just going to show you my printer. I've had my printer for many years, and all you have to do now is send your design from Design Space to an inkjet printer that you have, attached Wi-Fi or by USB or whatever they use to connect a printer to it. So here's mine. Again, I have a bottom tray feed, so I'm going to make sure when I put this in that I can see those blue lines sticking up or the red lines sticking up, because that's going to determine whether it's printed on the proper side. So now that that is in, here we are in Design Space. We're going to click Send to Printer. And when we do that, this option box will pop up and it'll say that it's on bleed and you want to use your system dialog box. And the reason you want to use that is because you're going to go in and you're going to make sure that it's going to print the absolute best. You're going to pick the paper style that you have. You're going to pick the best setting that you have to print, and you're going to click print. So this is how it's going to show up on your screen. You do not have to mirror these. For the dark image, you never mirror for the dark image, the dark fabric. But for the light colored fabric, if you're using if you're using letters or numbers, or if there's a photo that you want to print out and you want it to be a certain way, you will have to flip that image. But this is how nice they came out. I have the HP 5660 Envy. I really like this printer, but I've had it forever. So now we're just going to go into Design Space. And so after you print them out, you're going to want to let them dry for like 30 minutes. And then you can go back into Design Space and just click that you've already printed the image on the right-hand side there. And then I'm going down to vinyl. So I'm just typing vinyl in here. I go all the way down to my materials, and I want my Maker 3 to cut it as a vinyl. I do add more pressure to it. I feel like that helped kind of cut the paper a lot smoother. So you might want to add pressure to yours, but do a test cut if you need to. Okay, so now we're going to put them on our mat. So when we place these on our mat, we want to make sure that they're in the upper left-hand corner, because whenever they're scanned, it's going to read the registration marks. So if you can get them as straight as you can in the upper left-hand corner, I put my mat at an angle and then I use a brayer to bray them down, because even though I left them set for 30 minutes, I want to make sure there's no oils or anything on my hand that's going to smudge the ink. And they were perfectly fine. So now we're going to take it over to my Maker 3 and we're going to cut it out. So here it's just doing all of the things. It's scanning the image and you'll see a light come on, and then it'll cut it out for me. And then I'll put in the second one. So I really love how the Maker 3 cuts. I'm very impressed with it. You guys, if you guys have watched my channel for a while, you know I am an Explorer Air 2 girl. I love my Explorer Air 2, but the Maker 3 is pretty fancy. I do really like it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get the Maker 3 as well. I know I said that in the last video, just because I know that some of you have a Maker 3 and I want to make sure that you're seeing both machines being used, or all the machines being used. And I think it just helps sometimes for you to see your exact machine being worked with. I don't know, that sometimes helps me. So now it's just cutting out the heart. It's doing the it's reading the registration marks and cutting it out, and it's ready to go. So now I'm just going to take it off the mat. And again, I don't think I told you guys this, but use your blue mat if you're using paper like this. That way there, if your green mat's really sticky, it could tear the backing. And the dark fabric, you have to pull off of a backing. You'll see here with the white fabric, you won't, but with the dark fabric, you do have to peel it. So what I'm doing here is just kind of putting my fingers down around the edges and cracking the paper. You can get it to cut the whole way through a little differently, but I wanted to just use the vinyl because I was afraid it was going to tear it, because I've never cut this on my Maker 3 before. So, but it did an excellent job. So now I'm just going to cut with my scissors around the edge. Please know, if you do not have a bleed on, or if you do not cut every extra piece of vinyl away from your design, there will be a white layer around your design when you press it, because this is a printable vinyl basically, and you'll see when you tear it off, if you didn't cut all the white away, you'll have white on your image. So I just want you to be aware of that. I know that was a huge problem for some people when I was reading the reviews and the questions that I was getting, and they were like, oh, but there was a little bit of white. And once you peel it off the backing, it's extremely hard to cut the white away. So do your best to cut, if you're using scissors, directly on that bleed line that you print out. And that way there's not going to be any extra white. So the next thing we're going to do is get ready to press it. Now I'm just putting my mat away here and getting things cleaned up to set up my easy press. If you guys are enjoying this video and learning from it, if you want to give it a thumbs up or share this video, I would really appreciate it. Okay, so here I'm using the easy press, and what we need to do is, this takes a high heat. So the first thing we want to do is check out our settings. I know the setting that works great on my easy press. On your Jolee's Boutique Easy Image instructions, it will tell you what you should try with just a basic iron. For the easy press, I'm using 385 for 45 seconds. You could do it longer, and it just depends on the type of press that you have, in my opinion. So do what the instructions say, and then if you're making multiple shirts, try like just a basic cotton fabric and play around with it, like make tiny images, press them, see how they turn out, see what you're happy with. I am using the butcher paper from Cricut, which, oh my goodness, guys, I was like really happy that these are pre-cut. Like, I don't know. I was like doing a happy dance when I pulled it out. I was like, oh my gosh, they're pre-cut. It clearly says that it says 15 sheets, but I didn't pay attention. But when I realized they were pre-cut, I was like, it's the little things, guys. It's the little things. Okay, so we are going to fold a piece of the butcher paper in half and tuck it up inside the shirt. We want to make sure that it's covering the area completely, especially on the white shirt, because of the way we need to press it. So again, I'm using my lint roller and making sure everything is off of there. So when you press the light colored fabric designs, they need to be flipped over and pressed from the back. That is why, if there's any words or a picture you want a certain way, or a design you want facing a certain way, you want to make sure that you mirror the image in design space. But because our project was all the same, either side, it didn't matter. We didn't do that. But know that if you have numbers, letters, a specific photo, you want to mirror the image. So here we're just laying it down on the shirt where I like it. And we're going to go ahead and put another piece of butcher paper over top of that just to protect our press. And we're going to press the shirt. So remember that we have the butcher paper, the design, the t-shirt, another thing of butcher paper, and then our pressing pad. And as soon as our heat press is ready, we will press that. So we're going to press it for 45 seconds at 385. And you want to give it a good hard press. And that butcher paper was still clean. Nothing came off of it. This is going to be super hot. Be careful when you pull it off. It was super hot. I'm just using my Cricut tweezers, and that turned out super cute. I really like this. So they are, you may see smoke. You may see like a steam come off of them. It is a reaction being done, so it does have a tiny odor. It's not terrible. Now for the dark color fabric, we need to put the butcher paper inside again, go follow the directions that it says on the paper for you. I'm just doing it the way that I know works very well. So here you have to peel the backing off of the design. So it's very thin. That's why it's very hard to cut if you missed any of the outline. You lay your butcher paper right on top, and you're going to press it at 385 for 45 seconds. And when you do, when you lift it, I'm not sure if it shows it here or not, but there is a blast of steam and heat that comes up. Yep, there it is. But it turned out so cute. And this is more like a vinyl, in my opinion. It says it's called a transfer, but it's like a vinyl, where the light colored is more of like an ink. So it would be more of like a screen print, in my opinion. So it feels a little different. They both feel different. So I hope this was helpful, guys. I hope you learned something from this. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask. Join our Facebook page at Crafter Support. And I hope you all have a great day and enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.